Hey everyone, we are going to be looking at the severe weather risk throughout today and this weekend. Before we could get into the forecast, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single upload or live stream on this upcoming severe weather event. Right now we're looking at the latest category outlook made by the Storm Protection Center. As you can see, we have a slight risk for severe storms across portions of Texas and Oklahoma today, and also a marginal risk around that slight risk reaching into portions of New Mexico, Kansas, Missouri, and even portions of Arkansas. A tornado risk for today, we have a upgraded to a 5% risk for tornadoes across portions of Texas and Oklahoma, as well as a 2% chance for tornadoes in New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma. We're not going to see much of a long-living tornado threat, but definitely isolated strong tornado will be possible today. Wind threat is going to be up to a 15% chance for some severe winds, 60 miles per hour and up, as well as a 5% risk for 60 mile per hour winds and up in that brown shaded area. Hail risks today, we have a significant chance for hail in the black hatched area. That means we definitely could see some significant hail hitting those areas in the black hatched area. That means isolated very large hail will be possible in the black hatched area, as well as the yellow shaded area. You do have a 15% chance for 2-inch plus size hail, and the 5% risk, you have also a 5% risk for 2-inch plus size hail. Now here's tomorrow's outlook, which actually just got updated to an enhanced risk a couple minutes ago. We have an enhanced risk for severe storms across Texas and Oklahoma. I might not be able to do a live stream today, but definitely tomorrow I will be guaranteed to do a live stream on this outbreak for tomorrow. We have an enhanced risk for severe storms across Texas and Oklahoma. We have a slight risk for severe storms across Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, and that marginal risk right around those, and even reaching into portions of more of Kansas, Colorado, and New Mexico. Tornado risk is now upgraded to a 10% hatched risk, so we could see significant tornadoes tomorrow in that yellow shaded area, as well as 5% risk. We still do have a very decent risk in the 5% risk for tornadoes, and the 2% risk we also do have just a 2% general risk. So some isolated weak tornadoes will be possible in the 2% risk. In the 5% and the 10%, that's where we get significant strong tornadoes. Wind risk, we have only around a 15% chance for some winds in the yellow shaded area, and in the brown shaded area we have a 5% risk for 60 mile per hour wind gusts and up. Now hail risk, we also do have a significant chance for hail in the 30% chance, which is the red area, and the significant chance, which is in the black hatched area. We do have a very high risk for some significant hail in the Texas and Oklahoma areas, and a 15% chance in a brown 5% chance for 2-inch plus size hail. Here's the latest HRRR model. This is the future radar for today, and as you can see, it's going to move forward here to around the afternoon hours. We're getting into around 12 p.m. now. So about right now, we get it to 1 p.m. and still nothing. Scattered showers across portions of Texas and Oklahoma. We're moving now into 2 p.m. and still nothing. You see that cold front, really well-defined cold front with some very light showers across that cold front. So that's indicating a decently strong cold front entering the area. And we finally get into around 3 p.m. and you can see some cells developing over here in western Oklahoma. Some very little cells so far. You can see this area of blues and yellows, which is meaning we could see that cell developing right at 4 p.m. It looks like we will see cell initiation. As you can see, initiation. As you can see, we're seeing some very strong cell right there developing right to the southeast of Amarillo. We move even more to around 5 p.m. now, and you're even seeing some hail in there. Very strong storm there, and you're seeing some definitely very large hail possible within that area. We're now moving into around 6 p.m. and you're now seeing a line of storms developing right near now just southeast of Amarillo, and this is now heading into portions of Oklahoma. We're getting into the evening hours now, so around 7 p.m., and you're seeing this very strong line of storms in Oklahoma and Texas, and even some more cells developing below that. We may see a tornado risk with those, as those look to be individual cells before it does become one with the line. And we're even seeing some more individual cells breaking off, so that could definitely bring a isolated tornado threat. So that'll be around 8 p.m. and we're getting to 9 p.m. now, and those line of storms are now moving into Oklahoma. We definitely could see a very big flooding threat for Oklahoma, as this looks to be a very large area of heavy rain, and this could be moving very slowly as well, as you're seeing, and you're getting into around 12 a.m. now, and this is what it was 3 hours ago. So it's moving very slow, and this is what's going to cause that flooding threat. You're going to see 3 hours of rain over here in this type of area. So that's definitely going to cause a pretty major flooding threat. We're going to see a lot of flood warnings, a lot of flash flood warnings in these areas by the morning. We're getting into around 2 a.m. now. Still very large band of heavy storms moving into now Missouri and Arkansas. And we're finally moving into around 3 a.m. finally. And you're still seeing rain over here in the majority of northern Oklahoma and central Oklahoma. So that's definitely going to bring a very major flooding threat. Now those storms are now moving into portions of Missouri, and about the last hour we can go to in the HRRR right now. We're seeing some cell initiation by the morning of around 4 a.m. So very early morning, we're already seeing cell initiation for Saturday, but that's not going to be the main cells. We definitely could see morning convection, which plays a big role in busting severe weather events. Not big morning convection, but you're already seeing cell initiation over here in portions of the panhandle of Texas. So we definitely could see a decent bust tomorrow. It's definitely possible. There's not a 100% guarantee that we will see an outbreak, but definitely some storms, some very severe storms tomorrow will be over here in that type of area. Here's the surface-based K values, and this is the energy within the atmosphere. This is what we can tell how much energy is within the atmosphere, and we can tell how severe and how intense these storms will be exactly. So let's go ahead and go forward here to when these storms start to develop. You're seeing upwards of around 1,500 joules per kilogram. That's something going to be a very decent amount of energy to get these storms rolling. And you're still seeing around 1,300. When any storms is going to be north of this energy, it's going to have a hard time developing, as you're only seeing around 500 to 600 joules per kilogram. You're now getting into around 5 p.m. and still that energy is going to be a very decent amount of energy. As you're seeing over here in Oklahoma, you're seeing upwards of 1,500, 1,600 joules per kilogram, even up to 2,000. So you're seeing a very decent amount of energy, and that's what's going to keep those storms rolling overnight. And as you can see, that those energy values really start to decrease once you get into the evening hours. So you're getting into around 8 p.m. now, and those K values are really decreasing as those storms are moving into Oklahoma now, and those are going to really weaken into very widespread rain showers, very heavy rain showers, and maybe even some thunder and lightning overnight. Now here's the bulk shear values. If you have a lot of shear, you're definitely going to have some decent tornadoes possible, but if you also have very little bit of shear, that's also going to cause not very many tornadoes to happen. And this is, as you can see, when these storms develop, this is mainly the winds. If it moves into any of the shear over here, we definitely could see that tornado possibility. If we move forward here, and you can see some very strong winds within these storms. You're seeing upwards of 46 knots, so that's a little over 50 miles per hour. You're seeing some very decent wind gusts, even 59 knots in some of these cells. So you definitely see some very strong winds. Nonetheless, if there's any tornadoes, and you're seeing these shear values over here in this whole area. You're seeing those increase. That's what's going to cause some of these tornadoes to happen in this whole area. So the kind of hot spot for tornadoes today is going to be in somewhat of this type of area. So if there's any tornadoes that happen today, they're going to be in that type of general area. If we move forward here, those shear values definitely increase as those storms start to move into Oklahoma. But those storms are not going to be in these types of regions. That's kind of the cold front that's moving into the area. And like I said, there's going to be some individual cells down here that's going to be breaking off of a line. There's also some cap here, so there may not be much of a tornado threat down here once those cells break off. But there is definitely a very nice amount of shear, seeing upwards of 40 knots, and that could definitely cause some tornadoes if there is not much cap to move through. So definitely keep an eye on here. If you live over here in portions of Texas, I would keep an eye on the storms overnight, because there are some cells, according to the HRRR, that will break off of the line, and that could definitely cause some isolated tornadoes to happen in that type of region overnight. So definitely be alert of that. But now we are going to look at the Supercell Composite, which is the last thing we're going to look at today. And as you can see, we do have a decent risk for supercells in this whole area. Like I said, this is going to be the very hot spot for tornadoes today that happen in that type of region. So they'll definitely keep in mind that there will be some very possible isolated tornadoes. Even strong tornadoes will be possible today in that type of region, and as well as you head into overnight, and there is not much of a supercell threat. However, there's still some over here, and that's where the cells will break off, and that could definitely cause some isolated tornadoes to happen in that type of region overnight. So like I said, just keep in mind, if you live in that type of region in Texas, be alert overnight. Make sure you have a way to get those warnings out. If you did enjoy the forecast on the upcoming severe storms throughout today, tomorrow, and even into Sunday, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single upload or live stream on any upcoming weather events. But anyways, stay safe.